Hey guys, new video here. New player tips, quick video again. Maybe this video won't be so quick because there's a lot to talk about. But I get asked a lot, what should I be focusing on the Atlas, like as a new player in Delirium League? Like, should I be focusing on Atlas completion? Should I be focusing on getting stones? Should I be focusing on the Delirium stuff? So this video is just to be about what are the first things you should do as a noob, or maybe even like a veteran player who's just like, man, there's a lot of new content in this game. Maybe you skipped a league or something. So when you start out in Delirium League, I wouldn't worry so much about the Delirium mechanic, okay? I'm going to assume you're going to play more than, let's say, a couple weeks. So the very first things that you should be focusing on are the numbers in the middle here. There are 3 numbers, and these are going to be the majority of the video. There is the awakening level, and this has changed since last league. So instead of 4 stones in one region, giving you 1 bonus level, right? So if you get your first 4 stones, put them into a zone, and you'll be level 1 in 3.9. Now, the way it works is that any 4 stones socketed anywhere will give you 1 awakening level. There's still 32 stones in total. So for example, your first 4 stones, if I put 1 in Hamlet, 1 in Tierns, 1 in Lex Proxima, and 1 in Ejories, it would give me 1 awakening level, and it wouldn't matter if I put those in across those 4, or all in one, or 3 in one, 1 in another, okay? That does not matter. So that's really good because you get the bonuses and you're able to like play around with your Atlas, get the maps that you're missing, and slowly progress from there, okay? So that's just a little overview of the awakening level. This number right here is the completed bonus objectives. So basically there's a few types of things that can happen with maps, okay? You complete a map, and with the bonus objective, you can see that by just hovering over. So usually it's like white maps. When you're getting your Atlas up, it'll be like kill the boss of a magic version of a white map. And then rares are going to be kill the boss of a rare version. And then the red maps, when you get to those, it's going to be kill the boss of a rare corrupted map, okay? And this is also very important because it's going to shift your Atlas up like, you know, 1.54 tiers. And then this number right here is a awakening bonus objective, and that's completing the maps pretty much at the highest tiers that you can with all watchstones socketed. You don't need to corrupt or anything, but you do need an awakening level that is designated on the map, and also the awakening level can be anything higher. So for example, this one, Villa map, I don't have this awakening bonus yet, and it says complete this at tier 14 with awakening level 1. Since I have awakening level 8, it would also work, right? Anything 1 or over. So don't worry about if you don't have exactly that that number. And once again, completing the map just means killing the boss. I could even kill the white boss, like a white unrolled map, and as long as it's awakening level 1, tier 14. Okay, why are these so important for a new player who's going to play for, let's say, more than a couple weeks? Why are those so important to do? And that is, first, let's talk about this. So you'll notice that something has shifted. In 3.9, there was a 24% bonus effect on your map. Most notably, that would apply to things like quantity, rarity, all the mod rolls, and stuff like that. And that shifted down here into the awakening bonus, okay? So this is almost purely a benefit. Yes, there is a 3% modifier to unique boss life per tier, but you have to think about what kind of content and how long you're in that content. So a lot of players might get worried about things that don't matter so much because it's such a small amount of time. I'll give you an example. If you were to record a map run, right, and record video of it and watch it, ask yourself, how long are you spending on X, Y, and Z content, right? 99% of the map is spent on clearing the map. It's not really spent on the boss. So even if the boss had 100% more life, it wouldn't matter too much because that's not most of the content you're doing. Now, obviously this affects Awakener and Conquerors and things like that. But once again, it's such a small amount of your playtime that it's not that big a deal. Now, if you look at these are the bonuses that I guess I can go over them for the newer players. So dropping additional connected map, that's just like the adjacent maps. You get bonus map drops. Think of it as like extra, just extra map sustain. Very, very good. 8% additional. You don't think that's that much, but it is pretty huge. The 4% chance of Shaper and Elder maps. Now, this is one of the most important ones, and that is because at this level of percentage chance, you will drop so many Elder and Shaper maps, and then those maps sell for quite a bit. Okay, they sell for a lot, and you might think, hey, some of these are like 20C, 25C, whatever. That's not that much, right? But you will really notice the rate at which these drops, and a lot of my like conversion of C to Exalt is from selling these maps really quickly, because people want to farm these endgame items, and they are very liquid, right? It's important to get the money fast so you can convert into the currencies that you want. So 4% on both of those, you will notice a hell of a lot of these maps dropping. And I would predict, let's say you play in one gaming session, let's say you play for a few hours, it wouldn't be uncommon to get a couple exalts or more just from these maps alone, right? On my stream, I drop these all the time. It's actually surprising how much they drop, and the percentages, you know, it feels a lot more than that sometimes, the 4%. The 4% chance of additional Atlas base types are a little bit buffed, I guess, because they used to not drop in the previous league until they changed it from influence maps, and also for fossil crafting, there's some limiters for bases. So bases can be a little bit extra money, you know. If you get lucky, they can be a lot of money, but it's just a little extra bonus, and it might even be some self-found upgrades for you for soul self-found if you do want to use some fossils. The 8% for additional unique item, now this one's also massive. This node alone dropped me 2 clean headhunters last league, as in one dropped in a beach map, one dropped in an arena map from a Veritania map that was given to me by Zava for free. So 2 headhunters came from this for me last league. I know other people have dropped headhunter from it as well. Someone dropped a header from this, I believe on like day 2 or 3 in 3.9. So what the 8% chance for additional unique item means is when you kill the map boss, okay, it will drop a identify unique. You know that the bonus procced here if the item is unique, okay? If you run unidentified sextant, it can drop ID uniques, but most of the time you won't. So that's how you know that it procced. And this unique can be anything. It could be something really garbage, like an Araku Tiki or something like that. But it could also be a headhunter. It could be a league specific. It can't be like boss locked uniques. Like you can't drop a Star Force or a Void Force or something like that from that. But you can drop league specific items. Extremely strong. And 8% chance is huge. The 8% chance for additional map currency items, that is also quite noticeable. Sextants, Chisels, things like this that will, Horizon Orbs. These things will build your map rolling base, and it allows for, like, especially for Soul Self-Found, allows for more rolling of your maps in a way that you want. So a little bit of flexibility there. It's just an added bonus. And then the next one is the additional rewards. Now, this one is, Grinding Gear doesn't tell us full numbers on these, so we don't know the exact, you know, percentages or anything, but basically what it means is the higher your awakening level, the more chance for things like awakened support gems, the more chance for things like Conqueror's Exalted Orbs. We believe at this point that the Cyrus weapon, the Legion Sword, the what's it called? The I forget what it's called, but it's the Legion Sword, the Savior. I believe that the Savior is only on awakening level 8, but I am not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But I do know that the higher tiers give more chance for awakened support gems, because although you can drop awakened support gems before level 8, and I've done it, other people have done it, it seems to be a lot better at level 8. So that is why you want to get this up there. So, and then also the last line, 4% increase chance for influenced, you know, influenced. I'm sorry. When I talked about the sorry, I got mixed up. When I talked about the Atlas base types, sorry, those are things like bone helmets and things that are specific to a region of the Atlas, base items like that. So sorry, this is the chance of conquer influence items with 40% chance. So pretty big chance there. So your first goal is to, if you don't know what you're doing with Atlas, the first few stones are very easy. You might want to watch some YouTube videos out there that explain the entire like ramp up mechanic and like the acquisition of your stones, but definitely get your stones to get 32 stones basically so that you can get Awakener level 8. It is such a massive thing, because once you get this done for all your future maps, you're gonna get this bonus. So you want to get this done as fast as possible. All right, and then let's go down to here. Bonus objectives, super important to get this, because, you know, I see a lot of Reddit posts complaining about map sustain. Most of us playing don't worry at all about map sustain because it's so easy every league, and it only gets easier as you ramp up everything listed here. So Atlas bonus is basically like this. The TLDR on this, because I can go on for this for another 30-minute video about like map sustain and things like that, more world maps, but I have other videos on that. This, you can think of it as on average, in the most simple way possible, your map tiers that you're dropping are shifted up about 1.54 because you guarantee an additional drop, and then you have a 54% chance to drop 2 tiers higher. Once again, this has to obey the Atlas rules, so like a white monster can't drop like a +2 map or anything like that, but you can just think of it as 1.54 shifted up. And this is really great because let's say you're at a point where you're like sustaining T12s or T13s and you get to the higher tiers and you shift it up by 1.54, then you're in the range to be easier completions of awakening bonuses, easier completions of pretty much everything else on the Atlas, okay? So you want to get this really high, and this one's actually relatively easy. Maps are really cheap right now at this point on day 7, day 8. So you can buy the ones that you're missing. The unique ones are like dirt cheap right now. And so I'd say 154 is not really hard at all. I mean, besides maps like this, like the Machinerum, which are like ADC, or like maybe Parandis Manor, which are expensive, they're all really easy to get, and you definitely want to get this because once again, the earlier you get this done, the more you are benefiting down the road. If you wait on this wall, you know that small percent chance that you're kind of missing out on will affect you in the long run. Okay, so definitely try to get this 154. I don't see any reason why anyone playing for a while wouldn't be able to get 154 here. This one right here, the complete awakening bonus, okay, this one is a change from previous league. So they removed the awakening bonus, giving 0.5% additional map tiers. So it used to be like, I think like 70 something additional chance of you know, 1 tier up that would be added to this, but now that's removed. But that doesn't matter because the quantity of maps hasn't decreased. I think it's actually increased because of delirium mobs, but your tier has been shifted down like 0.7 something. Okay, but once again, that does not matter. What does matter is a back-loaded buff. So if you read the first line, what it means is that Master Mission acquisition has been nerfed initially when you get your Atlas. Previous leagues, you would kill the boss of a map and there would be a 40% chance, this is a given number, right? We know these numbers now. It's a 40% chance in the past to get a Master Mission. This league, when you have your clean Atlas, you have 35%, and you'd be like, what? Why did they do that? That's the nerf, right? And it is a nerf of 5%, but it's because they backloaded the buff into getting the awakening level. So if you read that first line, every 15 bonus, you get 1% additional Master Mission chance. Right now, I have 6% additional for my Atlas bonus, my awakening bonus, meaning I have a 41% chance. So I'm 1% buffed from previous leagues. When I get everything done, you are at 45%. Chance to get a Atlas mission. Oh yeah, an Atlas mission from one of the masters on killing a boss. That's pretty amazing, right? Because you know, think about it mathematically, it's like 11% chance more master missions. And yeah, so if you remember how many master missions you got last league when you did like tons of maps, it's just nothing but a buff. You'll get more of the masters you want. Okay, and that's super important early on because early on, running masters on your mission, especially when they put it on the map device, so you don't have to talk to the master to add something to your map, that is going to make the juice of your maps, right? The drops, the less time rolling maps because you're doing more content, right? More chances of Zaba to give you Cortex, all these cool maps and stuff like that. More chance, more Alba temples, more Delve fuel if you like delving. This is huge, and so it is a big buff from last league if you are willing to put in the time to get your awakening bonus. So I'd say as a new player, after getting your stones, after getting your bonus objectives, then really try to get this done. I've been slacking a little bit because like I'm streaming, I'm just kind of like messing around, and I know I can play for like 3 months, so it's not like that important to me. I'll get everything anyways, but if you only have like a few weeks to play, this is kind of huge. Then the second line, this is the same thing from last league that used to be in the awakening levels. Now the increased effect of modifiers on non-unique maps is now tied to every 6 awakening levels. And you can think of this as magic find, okay? The most notable way that you'll see this is magic find, quantity and rarity. Once you get this to 24%, it doesn't seem like much, does it? But it is a huge overall benefit, especially if you even run Magic Find, because it's like multiplicative, right? And this is already multiplicative on the map rolls. Yes, it will make your map a little bit harder, but the most frustrating things, like for example, 90% avoidance rolls on maps, which made all the map mods immune once you had 24% of this effect modifier, they nerfed that, so mobs can't be immune anymore to those effects because of this awakening bonus objective. So that's pretty good there. So get this up, you will notice way more of everything. you'll notice way more map drops, you'll notice way more unique drops, you'll notice way more currency drops. Just everything will feel better. And I have to stress that in PoE, it is a game about grinding. If you like ARPGs, you like to grind, you should like kind of feel that you shouldn't be giving everything in like the first few days, right? Because these things take time, and there's a lot of red threads where the core frustration is that they are not given like the Diablo 3 like ramp up, where like you start at 0 and you get to like the most min-max character in like I don't know, a week or two, and then you're done with the game, right? And you never play until the next week. That's not really what PoE is like, but I can assure you that if you spend the time and you you put the time into these 3 numbers and nothing else, running the deliriums while you can. Delirium is like a little side thing, okay? These things are core and they affect everything in the game if you're running maps. And so just take the time to do them before you complain on Reddit, and you'll kind of notice that the game becomes more fun. You will have the streaks of bad variants for your drops will go down, and you'll farm a whole lot more. Okay, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, you guys can ask me below, okay? And so yeah, so once again, for new players, this is what you should be focusing on first and foremost in pretty much every league until they change the mechanic. Okay, thanks for watching my video, guys. Bye guys, bye.